Hi there, welcome to Creating a Future We Want, the Our Learning series. Project, What is a Garden? This is the first time we've done one of these conversations in the rain. Probably close to the last. What is a garden? 30 days of adaptive action. Adaptive action is the way we are engaging with the question, what is a garden? This is another way we are getting into it. So each day we head into the garden with a new question and this process, adaptive action. Adaptive action might be thought of as a systems approach to exploring this question, what is a garden? Raining a little harder now. Three questions. What are the three questions, Kiara?
What, so what, and now what?
Yeah, these are the three questions that sort of semi-structure our conversation. What, so what, and now what? And, yeah, introduce yourselves. Sorry about that.
I'm Cora. And I'm Kiara.
I'm Cora.
Solid.
You couldn't hear me.
And I'm the dada. So we brought the question to the garden today with our journals, our garden, what is a garden journals, brought the question, what are we learning? Something about like, why are we learning? How are we learning? And we'll just start with that. I'm curious, with this question, what are we learning? What did you guys draw or start coming up with in your journal?
Can I show first?
Yeah.
Yay. Mine is really funny.
I'm prepared.
Here,
Okay.
could you hold it up for me?
Oh yeah, you just tell us about things. What are we talking about here, Cora?
So here on this branch is a chubby squirrel. And then up here it's raining, some clouds, and here's a tree branch and some acorns, and it ate so many acorns and it's still eating one. And its very tail, and that represents nature, kind of, for me.
Okay. So in response to the question, what are we learning? How would you, or how we're learning, or why we're learning? What would you say?
Well, wait, what was the question for today?
Yeah, what are we learning, right? So, and you drew a squirrel eating a nut and the furriness of the squirrel. What would you say to this question? What are we learning? What are you learning about animals in the garden?
Well, what they eat, where they sleep, what's their habitat.
Yeah, dragonflies eat caterpillars, good.
What they need to survive.
Caterpillars eat tomatoes, bad. Caterpillars, I guess, need tomato plants to survive. Mallow. Okay, so thank you, Cora. How about you, Kiara?
Let's see. I drew some flowers in the rain because it's raining.
Oh, you don't. I'll help you out.
So I drew them because we are learning about the garden and about the plants and the flowers and yeah, what they need to live, like what type of soil and fertilizer and how to plant seeds and things.
Cora, thank you, Kiara. Drawing's lovely. Cora, you said you're learning something about what these animals need to survive. So what have you learned about what they need to survive?
Well, squirrels, all animals need food.
All animals need food. Okay. Hold on, can I just stop you there? So what is food? So what do you know about food?
For plants, food is like sun and water.
Nutrition.
Yeah. And for animals, like, for example, cats, big cats, they eat meat, other animals, which is their food. And for squirrels, they eat acorns, nuts, and stuff like that. And deer eat plants.
So, thank you, Cora. Kiara, some of the things you said you were learning, could you refresh again? So what were some of the things you were learning?
Learning how to take care of a garden, how to plant seeds, how much water, and how much fertilizer, and giving calcium to the tomato plants, things like that.
I'm curious. So what do you see? What do you notice in the garden that tells you something about like how much water to give something?
Well, you can feel the ground, and if it feels wet, that means maybe you only need a little bit or not at all. And if it feels really dry, then make sure you put a lot of water. And if they're little baby seedlings, you don't want to put on a hard, super strong setting on the hose. You wanted a light, like mist. Yeah, mist. Just for the little baby seeds. And then for the bigger plants, you can use a stronger setting if you want.
I'm curious. Have you learned anything about yourself in the garden? As we're learning about what is a garden, so what have you learned or noticed about yourself?
Well, I love all the little baby seedlings because they're really cute and they're just super tiny, and it's crazy that little seed or seedling goes to a big plant and produces like eggplant or sugar snap peas or something. Yeah.
Now I know you're learning something about biology right now. I'm curious. So what have you learned in your study of biology related to what you were just sharing, like the germination or reproduction of plants?
Well, learning about photosynthesis, how the plants get their energy and nutrition and stuff from the sun, and process, and yeah, like the genes goes from one plant to another, sort of, to make plants, and they look just like the other plant.
Okay, that's interesting. You know, Darwin and Mendel were doing their work right about the same time. I had a professor in school, Duncan Porter, who was writing many volumes just about the letters that Charles Darwin wrote. And one of his Darwin received academic journals in the mail and read them and took lots and lots of notes. Now, Charles Darwin was who was hypothesizing that there was this information that was being passed from one to another, one generation to another, and we were just studying the albatross of the Galapagos. Well, he spent a lot of time there at HMS Beagle, studying the birds out there, and he had this journal, right? And Mendel was the one studying the growth of peas. Like, peas are over there in our garden right now, and he was studying the changes in the peas from generation to generation. Well, Mendel published a paper. Charles Darwin had it, and basically Mendel's work was describing the mechanism by which Darwin's theory would be proven true eventually. Darwin read every single page of that journal, marked it all up, wrote notes on every single page in the margins, but didn't put a single note on the page where Mendel was describing his work about genetic information being passed generation to generation in the pea plants. It's like he skipped it, like the pages were stuck together or something. Wild. So, Cora, I'm curious, after that little side note, what have you learned about conversation in our time here in What is a Garden Project? What have you learned about conversation?
Like having conversation.
Yeah, like we're doing right now.
What do you mean by learning?
Is there something that we do in our conversation that you maybe hadn't thought about or done before we started doing this?
Well,
How about you, Kiara? Any thoughts? Oh, Cora, you keep thinking about it. We'll come back to you, see if you have an idea.
Let's see. Maybe the like the drawing and the writing in these journals, and
As in, that's a part of the conversation? Yeah?
yeah,
Kind of spurs it on for me. Kind of gives me ideas. Yeah.
and like telling other stories that are like
Okay, a little break in the video. The the question was, now what would you like to learn next? How about you, Kyoto?
let's see. Maybe like to learn how other people take care of their gardens. How like learn like the different methods other people use for their gardens to keep them alive and healthy.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Hey, Cora, I have a question. What do you hope that others learn next? Like, what would you hope that like other people in our neighborhood learn about next?
learn about how to have a garden.
Oh, no, that's fine. Now, I think you were going to say something before Kiara said. Was there something you wanted to share about what you want to learn next?
Well, I was saying in the next video.
Nice and loud so we can hear.
Video. That maybe next I wanted to learn how to build a life-size Lego horse.
The life-size Lego horse. Okay, you're going to have a house and a horse out of Legos.
Okay.
All right. I'm Matt Keene. Thanks for joining us in Creating a Future We Want, our What is a Garden project. Few more episodes to come. 30 days of adaptive action. That might have been 28. I'm not sure.
And you're lucky to be getting to watch this video from somewhere dry, because we are soaked right now.
Yeah. It's his